I saw a really interesting thing, and it was somebody talking to me about Drake fans. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to his fandom, the Aubrey Angels.
Hey, what's that orange thing on the screen?
Which orange thing? Oh yeah, shout out to Michael Love. I meant to do this last week because I didn't see them. Michael Love, thank you for the $20. What it do, fellas? Everyone at the lunch table, that thumbnail is hilarious. It is hilarious. It's belt to ass. Shout out to my good peoples. Hey, thank you for that $5. Glasses, like I said, don't lump stands and fans. But I always meant to ask you, no bias aside, did you like all the records he dropped during the beef? Did I like all the Kendrick records? No, I wasn't really a fan.
How many he dropped? You talking about the beef records you talking about? You talking about the records he dropped outside of the beef? Like the
No, he talking about the Kendrick records. Kendrick records. Outside, did you like the records he dropped during the beef? I really didn't like I'm not everybody really loves Meet the Grams more than me. I'm not into Meet the Grams much. I get what's happening, but I just wasn't into it. But every other record, like, I love it. Like, I rave over it, man. I guess, bro. Michael Love, thank you for that 20 memberships. But every other record. Michael Love, thank you for the $10. I apologize. I've been missing for a while. My mom's didn't pay for my lunch because of her EBT situation. Mike, you fool, dog. Baseline. That's what baseline. Baseline. Thank you for that $5, my boy. Business question. Why do people always mention streams instead of numbers on billboards? I always thought Billboard was the main chart. Why do people always mention streams instead of the numbers on billboards? That's all perspective. It's all viewing.
Well,
how you want to see.
Break that down. What do you mean by the numbers on billboard? You mean by the physical? You mean by how many times people actually download the album? Or is it
He's talking about position, chart position. You have to be talking about chart position. I really try not to talk about streams and Billboard chart positioning because that's business. Like, you could have a really good record and don't know how to do the business, and the streams and your chart positioning will reflect that you don't know how to do the business. It won't tell you how great a record is. It'll tell you how great somebody is at business. Like, it's some bad records that stream well and get high up on the chart, you know what I mean, because somebody knows how to do the business. And shout out to the Skinny Day. We just talked about this. Thank you for that $5, my boy. Thank you for that $5 base. Glasses, like I said, don't lump stands and fans, but I always meant to ask you, no bias aside, you like to be. So this is why this conversation mattered, because I was talking to my homeboy P, good supporter of the show. We always politic and sharpen each other. Iron, you know what I mean, just keep it sharp with conversation. I think the problem with Drake fans is they see themselves in Drake. And I understand why. Hip-hop went through hip-hop has always been so niche, whether we admit it or not. Like, forever, it was niche. I mean, it was really a very small group. And as people, you know what I mean, more mainstream people really started liking it, you had more people throwing their hats in the ring. And I always tell Trap, it starts with Kanye. It really starts with Kanye because
no, it don't.
At the time.
Start with Tribe Called Quest.
No, because Tribe Called Quest.
Start with the Daisy era. It was not street.
Tribe is street.
Oh, De La Soul was street?
Yes. Yes. They were baptized in street urban culture.
So when you come up with a so I'm gonna say it like this, right? So when Busta Rhymes first come out with Leaders of the New School, and their whole thing was about being in school and stuff like that.
You think people from street don't go to school?
You say that. You say Kanye West?
I went to school.
But you say that when you say Kanye West, though.
I'm not saying Kanye West is not raised in street urban culture because he went to school. I'm saying Kanye West is not raised in street urban culture because he's not raised in street urban culture. It's not because he went to school. De La Soul went to college. People went to college.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not because he went to college. It's because he's fucking not raised in street urban culture. And it's weird because I'm not sure. See, this is the thing. If he was from New York, I wouldn't even be questioning this. This is what I be talking about, Trap. You couldn't be from New York and be like that. You couldn't be from New York and be like that, Trap. You couldn't be in New York, and that's how it was happening.
I feel like Chicago's a metropolitan city, though, too. You know what I'm saying?
And Los Angeles is a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, it's not, and this is what I've been saying to you for years. This is what separates New York from all of our metropolitan city. It's what separates New York from Seattle, Tacoma. It's what separates New York from Los Angeles or Inglewood or any other place. Right? Or any other place. You cannot escape the culture in New York. You cannot. You cannot escape it. You're going to be cut in it. Even the president of fucking America talk like a nigga that have a level of hip-hop conversation.
So let me ask you a question. So if you're in New York and don't come off the porch, you still going to be covered in?
Yes. This is what I keep trying to tell, Trap.
But somewhere else, if you don't come off the porch, you might not be covered in.
It might not happen to you.
You know, like Sherry.
Like Sherry's crazy.
Sherry is raised in street urban culture.
She's just running from it?
Sherry don't like it.
If I had to diagnose Sherry's issue, Sherry is just a troll.
Okay.
I don't think Sherry's a troll.
Sherry's a troll. Sherry definitely trolls something.
I just opened the door for her.
Sherry is ignorant and a troll.
I opened the door for Sherry to go ahead.
I'm not saying she's ignorant like she don't know nothing, but she's ignorant on street urban culture. Sherry couldn't give you any idea about street urban culture. She's gonna know as much as Trap is going to know about Los Angeles street urban culture. No. Sherry don't know anything.
No, you saying Trap don't know anything?
No. About out there, no. He's saying about out there. I'm not gonna know how. I'm saying, yeah, I understand what I'm saying.
You don't know nothing about nothing out here, Trap. Come on.
Yo, when I'm out there, I'm in Hollywood, man. I ain't in no motherfucking hoods when I'm out there. I'm in Hollywood. That's it.
I'm saying with Sherry though,
I'm making on that side.
Yeah. You don't think Sherry know you can get nothing?
Sherry's family did a great job of keeping her away from the heart of the culture.
Has Sherry been on Crenshaw?
No.
Oh.
I don't think I've been there.
I've been to Crenshaw now, so you know.
So I haven't been there. Glasses, real question. How come Kanye can be from Chicago, but Luda can't be from Atlanta? Luda is from Atlanta.
Yeah, Luda from Atlanta.
I think you'll have an argument with people from Atlanta that's going to argue who's more Atlanta, but Ludacris always rep Atlanta to me.
He's from Champaign, Illinois. That's Luda from.
Yeah, that's where he was born.
But even isn't JD not from Atlanta too and still rep Atlanta like that though too? I think JD from somewhere else.
Pop wasn't born in LA.
The Bay. Pop is a universal Negro right there, B.
Shout out to Baseline. Glasses took Beast and me on Crenshaw in a red car and was concerned.
Cool.
Shout out to Baseline.
It's fat, man.
It's like this. Kanye could start off that, like, I'm not sure, but really everything about Kanye says he was pretty much kept, like, he got street urban culture in minimum doses. Very minimum doses. Like, so I don't quite know if he was raised in it per se. Like, I think he visited, but I don't think he was raised in it. I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't, even everybody I talk to don't make me feel like I'm sure. He wasn't banging back then.
Can we get back to your question, though? Oh, I got a question here. How do you say that every Drake's fan want to be like Drake or want to seem like Drake? Like, do you see something in all of them that represents Drake?
No, they see themselves in that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see something in them that make you say, oh, they think they Drake or something?
Well, it's like
looking at Coach being an old Drake fan. Would you look at Coach as an old Drake fan and say, oh, you still a Drake fan?
So I think what happens is, so what's happening is you're getting more people that wants to be, they want to be a part of hip hop. Like initially, people just enjoyed hip hop.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But they did not want to be a part of hip hop. They just liked the music and they enjoyed it. And they realized this was different than where they grew up at. Like people would hear hip hop and be like, "Man, this is some brothers going through this." Even other brothers, they'd be like, "Damn." You know what I mean? Like they would see it as something outside of their own existence.
So Drake showed them how to fake it.
No. What happened with Drake gave them what they felt was their entry point into hip hop.
Yeah,
like, we have a representation in hip hop.
Okay.
But one, outside of the fact he's not hip hop, the problem is the people who see themselves in him are nothing like him. That's the problem. Like they're nothing like him. Like
even though they argue for him and bat for him,
all they know is they're not street. It reminds me, it's like my dad, bro. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to Good Boy. It reminds me of my dad. My dad is like the most conservative person I know. He's hella conservative. And most older black people, hella conservative. They don't really understand none of the shit going on in the LGBTQ community. They don't like none of this stuff. They have all conservative groups. They hate when extra immigrants come to this country and park. Every older black person is every bit of conservative as conservative can be. Until it's time to have to vote, because they don't want to have to vote with somebody from the Ku Klux Klan. My dad, the only reason he votes Democrat and he votes liberal is so he doesn't have to identify on the same side as the Ku Klux Klan or as racist white people. So they act like they're Democrats or liberals. But everything about their value says they're conservative and Republican.
And that's like Drake fans.
No, Drake fans just know they're not street or gangster. So they like, he's our guy. It's not really they identify in the stuff that he does. They find themselves trying to rationalize it. Like my dad tries to find himself rationalizing with Democrats and liberals. That's like quiet noise. It just kind of don't. That's like
you a quiet noise.
No.
Why do you say they're nothing like Drake?
Drake is a really different person. Drake is a kid that grew up in Canada, Jewish. He grew up completely different. That's a cultural difference. Even Carlton grew up, his dad is Phil in the TV show. His dad came from the gutter. He still grew up eating soul food. He still grew up all this, even in Beverly Hills, they would have it. He still grew up a certain way where his upbringing was that. Drake grew up Jewish completely. Now, he did have exposure to some things, right, through his dad or through some family, but he grew up Jewish. And then he got a job on Nickelodeon as a child.
You've been to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
How big is the black population up in Toronto or Canada compared
There's some black folks there.
A lot, or is just a little compared to like United States?
Some black folk there. Black folk there. Some black folk. I mean, they got ghettos, bro.
They got a whole hood. They
got hoods and all that. Yeah. So it's like Drake grew up a Canadian Jewish man. So black people that grew up in the suburbs here in America, like let's say like a Sherry, even somebody who grew up kind of closer to middle class or affluent, you still grew up somewhere where you understood the type of oppression and the type of things you had to deal with being a black person. That's not homie experience.
What was like middle class areas in LA?
You know.
Hey, what was like the middle class areas in LA?
Middle class. Well, it depends, right? Like they have. It's not middle class. They got suburban neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Lakewood is a suburb in county Los Angeles. But where Sherry grew up, we grew up in the two places in Compton that you can be an affluent black family, right?
Oh, okay.
In the Richland Farms, you feel me? And her other folks grew up in the West Side. The West Side those are two affluent places in Compton. Like as close as you gonna get to affluent, it's still surrounded by it's still the ghetto, but it's
not like Lakewood.
I put it like this: a teacher lived on my block. My mother's a registered nurse. A computer programmer, Aaron, lived 4 houses down. Like I knew people that were successful black people in business.
Yeah.
Versus when I go to my dad's house in Watts, no teacher lived in Watts. Like not on the 7. Like the type of people that lived, you didn't have a lot of black professionals.
Yeah.
On 117th Street, you had a very few, if none.
How about you, Coach? How was you? How was your situation down here?
My situation was poor. I mean, I just I had a lot of people living in one house, and I lived in not a great area. Like, so. I mean, at one point I lived in Long Beach. It was decent out there. I lived in a decent part of Long Beach for a little while, but other than that, I lived in Inglewood, close to the bottoms, and I lived in LA, so it wasn't great.
So it's like, but again, I think they just identify with Drake the way my dad identifies with Democrats. It's to say what he's not more than what he is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. They rather say they're not street thugs to go along with Drake than to say they really are.
But I think these fans are a little more like Drake than Glass to give them credit for.
Why you say that, Coach?
Because
I know they not.
A lot of Drake fans are not thug. I mean, not street. Not.
He says they are street, but running.
I don't know about that.
It's not the street. Like Carlton is not street. His dad grew up in street urban culture, right? Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air grew up in street urban culture, so it's passed on through his relationship with his father. His father is going to deal with him in a certain way. It's going to be a way he treat him, right? No,
yeah.
Right, like my mom a registered nurse, but my mom grew up in the struggles.
Right.
My dad owned a tow truck, but he grew up in the struggle.
Right.
So in the house, I'm gonna get a treatment a certain way. Then when I walk outside my door, I'm gonna get the treatment. Right. Carlton may not walk outside his front door in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and get the treatment, but his dad is going to treat him like somebody who grew up in street urban culture. So you're gonna get raised in that way, right? His mom and his dad both came from the struggle.
But I think real street urban dudes can't be Drake fans. Like, can't be Drake. I think they could appreciate his music.
Sure.
But
I don't agree with that.
You said what?
I don't agree with that. I know a lot of street urban raised dudes that's Drake fans, because they tap into, you know what I'm saying?
Drake fans or like his music?
Like fans and like his music, Like I know dudes who really cape for Drake, you know what I'm saying? Because they
I don't know if that make him a fan too.
I know fanatics as Drake fans as street urban culture dudes,
I don't think so.
You might want to check their background track.
Yo, I'm gonna say my brother's one of them. Hold on a second. My brother's one of them,
Your brother a Drake fan? Like real fan?
Shout out to Sydney Fairfield.
Super.
Shout out to Sydney Fairfield. Literally talking in circles. Is blackness black? Drake is 50% black. Carlton's 100% black, or is it? You're not black because you're 50% black because your dad is 50% black. Like, we're not talking about a racial construct. That wouldn't even be the term if we were talking about a racial construct. So when you say he's 50% black, that's in reference to a false sense of racial construct. When we talking about black, we're talking specifically, it's a level of cultural and ethnicity we talking about. We're not just talking about your skin or your father.
We gotta stop that shit.
How?
Stop what?
You gotta stop saying 50% black and
because if you black, you black.
Yeah,
black.
Ain't nobody 50% black. If you black, you black.
Well, nobody's saying shit about Malcolm X.
Yeah, nobody care. You black, you black. Again, because I get it. There's a level of people referencing it as a race. And then you'll say he's 50% black, but it's more to that. It's more to that. But I think that's the thing. I think they identify specifically with Drake because of what they know they are not. Like my dad identifies and votes Democrat and liberal because he knows he's not a racist white man, even though he has the same values as a racist white man.
I mean, I know Trap got herself on mute, but the reason why I say, and I'm not saying it's always somebody who might, it might be some hood dudes that like Drake that might be fans of him, possibly. But my thing is, if Drake had a lot of dudes that was from the hood that was his fans, or street urban dudes that were his fans, as soon as he went to the police, he would have lost the majority of his fans in that case.
You know what's crazy? I didn't know about the police shit until Dot brought it up like that. I didn't really know about the police shit like that.
But that's how you know a lot of his fans are not street urban, because his fans don't give a fuck you. Like, they good with it. They trying to rationalize it. They trying to tell you why it's okay from there done that. Like, yeah, he this ain't got nothing to do with Kendrick. This UMG. Like, so I'm saying.
Got my burrito. We a burrito.
Somebody got you that? I know Don didn't do that.
Nah, nobody got. I got it for myself.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
But again, like,
That burrito's a bad word around here.
black is not racial. Like, we're not talking about the race. That wouldn't be the name. The racial construct is Negroid or Caucasoid.
Negroid is crazy.
They referenced it as black, but they've proven all that to be. Shout out to DT. That's a great point. Black is an acknowledgement. That's exactly what it is. So I was saying that I think it's not Drake fandom. The problem, the issue with Drake fandom is actually you're not really a fan. You feel me? Like, you really just saying you're not this. Like, I had to talk to P, and I'm telling P and different homies that call themselves fans of Cuz is, y'all keep thinking y'all identify with him. You identify with me more. And they think they can't see themselves in me. They like, no, Glasses, you're from a gang and you used to sell drugs.
So this is why you say you're running away from it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like my dad. Like, my dad to me and most of our fathers are very conservative. They're very conservative. But they just do not want to be on the same side as. That's like why these dudes who shot, again, I don't like talking about this publicly, but it's like that's why people keep calling themselves Black Americans. Because they're trying to have American values, but they want to make it like they're separate, which doesn't make sense. If you believe in the ideal of America, then you should not have to put a prefix before it.
So you feel like Drake fans are straddling the fence? They trying to play both sides
No,
of the middle?
They're not straddling the fence. They don't want to.
They don't want to be on this side of the fence.
They just know, and it's not that. They don't know what's on the side of the fence. It could also be people made fun of them for their whole life. People could have been like, man, like I heard some dude did a little thing, and he referenced Drake as a nerd. Like, Drake is not a nerd. Drake is not this smart kid that got these great grades and shit. Like, this dude dropped out of school. It's just not that.
So would you say the majority of Drake's fans are 30 and younger? Because I feel like maybe you're holding on to, like it's not a lot of dudes who are like us anymore. So I think that maybe a lot of Drake fans probably are like 33 and younger. And those dudes are, I kind of feel like those dudes are really, see themselves, really are more like Drake than you.
They're not, though.
You think?
I know so. Because if you grew up here, you care about the same things I care about.
Well, I think you, I think you want to believe that still, G.
I know it's true.
You think that's true?
I know it's true. What would they have specifically in common?
I mean,
Sucking for love.
Yeah, exactly. They sucking for love.
The crazy part is Drake is not a sucker for love.
But you don't think they would look at social media of Drake and try to, emulate him or anything?
No, people don't try to emulate him. They don't wear one glove.
First of all, Drake and a lot of his fans, they think it's fine to go tell to the cops, and that's not something that our generation think is cool. They don't even think that. They fine with it, G.
Again, y'all keep saying that, and I keep telling you that's a lie. They just saying that now. If they did, they would change their own lives. They wouldn't be trying to start a fight. Why is it a problem that black people still don't want to call the police? Let's say your son, right? You raised him well. Your son still struggling to call the police.
My son's not calling the police.
Why?
Because he was raised He's different. Like I
You're
don't look at my son. I promise you, I don't look at my children not like a lot of these kids. You know, like even my oldest son, he's different than a lot of these kids.
Like these people.
I'm just saying, a lot of these kids, man. Some of these, I'm telling you, this generation is weird, bro. Yeah, like it's a lot of weird kids around here, man. And G don't want to accept it. He think that these kids got more street in them than they do.
I don't think they have more street. I think it's not street. Like right, street is just anti-rules, anti-establishment. That's all it really means. I'm not with the rules. That's all street means.
So you're saying that they have to have this type of hip hop culture because they're here, no matter what. This is what it is. Every generation has a.
No, I don't think everybody has it. I keep telling y'all, if you want to know if you hip hop, one of the oldest rules, if you want to see if you hip hop, the first time you got into a fight and you went and told your parents, if your parents told you to go back and fight them, next time they put their hands on you, go hit them, 99% of the time, your ass is hip hop.
But there's that 1%.
But have you noticed, dude? It's not a lot of parents doing that no more. I got friends myself that gentle parenting. Like, gentle parenting is a thing to black people now. Like, that is some crazy shit.
I'm not, even that gentle parenting is just.
It's Drake shit.
I don't think that's Drake shit. I think you're confusing gentle parenting. I think you're confusing black people. You're confusing black people who try to assimilate into American standards with somebody who really just believes in the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Drake just believes in the rules.
Yes. He believes in the rules.
Remember my daughter's favorite song when she was younger? Used to be the Feeling song. The Feeling song was crazy. Like they sit there and talking about their feelings. I think that's the way a lot of parents is parenting nowadays, though. Like with them, because you know what happened though? What happened was it was like a certain generation that went through that whole. We ain't know what the hell a bully. We knew what bullies was, but we ain't acknowledged them like you know what I'm saying? People, you was getting bullied, you wasn't mentioning that shit. They went through that whole phase of kids was bullying kids and kids was going home and you know what I'm saying, committing suicide, like all that shit like that. They started focusing more on that type of shit. So like the kids, it's no more like the emotional feelings is dealt with different. You know what I'm saying, than it was dealt with back when we was growing up like that. And that's why I think a lot of times. Drake coming to the game and being so emotional like he was, though, they looking at him like, all right, well, he's speaking for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He's a real emotional rapper.
The reason they feel like that is not because they relate to his story. I think there are pieces to his story.
Man, I'm telling you,
what rules is he following, though? I want to know what rules is Drake following.
When they robbed him and he took his chain, he called the police. Right now, he's mad he lost a battle and he feel like somebody insulted him too hard and they hurt his feelings, so he filed a defamation lawsuit.
What rules is that, though? Whose rules is that?
Those are standard American rules. You don't know the rules exist because you black. Because you a nigga from the streets. That's why you don't know the regular thing. If you walked outside this door and somebody punched you in your fucking face, you're not finna call the police.
That's right back.
But you know what you're supposed to do in America? Call the police. That's the American rule.
And there's a lot of this generation who don't call the police now.
And let them just get that off, punch in my face.
It's a lot of, man, dude.
It's way less than people that look like us.
I'm telling you, bro. Even the way I raised my children, I feel like I raised them a little differently than a lot of parents in my age group. But still, it broke my heart when I heard them talk about this Kendrick and Drake beef. Like my junior, which I almost
took my name back.
Man, I almost exactly, but I wanted to be like Junior, my ass nigga. Like that nigga was Team Drake. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
But that's because there's a million things about his life that makes him think he's not street.
That's what I'm saying. These dudes think they are not. It's a disconnect now with these new kids. Even though I try to raise my son, and like you said, me and Trap, we did a decent job raising our children. They don't know a lot about where we came from. They go out there and visit family here and there. Not that much.
Has your son been in a fight at school?
Yes, for sure.
Why he didn't tell the principal?
That's not how we roll.
Why not how you roll?
Telling the principal.
That's the rule.
Yeah, like that's not gonna happen. But then he, I don't know, man. But then a lot of his friends will probably go tell the principal.
It's gonna be less than you think.
I don't know, man. The dudes is weird, man. A lot of his friends, Dude, like some of his friends, he brings some of his friends in the house, and I talk to him, and I be like, "What the fuck is this?"
But the people that look like us is different. So, like, okay, the issue is in the word street. People automatically associate street with gangster. Problem one.
Yeah.
That's not what that means. Street is outlaw. Like cowboys were street before they were streets. When it was rural America, rural West, cowboys were street. They were outlaws. They didn't believe in the rules. They dealt with the rules the way they wanted to deal with the rules. They had a different sense of justice. Right? That's still street. That's all. A gangbanger is a modern day cowboy.
Okay. I agree
That's
with
it. No different than Doc Holliday or any of them cowboys, Billy the Kid, all the same thing. No different than Al Capone. They're just modern day cowboys. That's all they are. They're just modern day cowboys. They live on a different set of rules standards. Right? That's all street is. It's saying that the law sense of justice is not the ultimate guide to morality. There's another greater sense. Here are the things. It's more of a primitive thing. It's not done civilly. It's like it could have dire consequences, right? So that's the first problem with street. So when people say street nigga, they automatically think of a gangster. It's not. It's somebody who says the law is not the ultimate judge in how I'm going to do things to support my existence or defend my position. That's all being a street. It's a commitment to it when you live in a densely populated place. That's what street urban is. Right? You understand. It's the reason why you'll fight and stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? When you're supposed to call the police.
But I feel like these new kids treat the rules of being street urban like how we treat the Bible. Well, a lot of us treat the Bible. Like some of these commandments, okay, some of those are cool. We could deal with some of those commandments. No, not that one though. Like,
for which one could they not deal with? I just wish they start calling the police.
You say you wish they do start calling the police?
I tell people all the time, if you not on those street shit, call the police. Be American for real. Like, that's what I'm telling all the homies in the shit. Stop trying to be black American. Just be American. Accept it with all the flaws. Just keep it a bean. If you put that flag next to your fucking name, if you a Drake fan, hey, adopt it all. Adopt it all. Stop fighting. Get out the middle. It's way too much middle ground. You know what I mean? They in the middle. They kind of want to be street. They want to kind of wear stuff that outlaw people wear. They kind of want to use the
That's my point, though. That's my point. They want to be in the middle. They want to play both sides of the field. That's what I'm saying. I could use that. I can't use this. This is for me. That's not for me.
But that is not Drake.
I don't know, man. Drake said, "Look, I can do this. Hey, but I need my chain back, though."
But that's the problem. That's what y'all not getting. He's not that at all. He's not that at all.
No, man.
I think that's the problem, and that's their thing. They're like, I don't know. He's not that at all. He really don't use slang until the cameras come on. He is not that.
But I've been telling y'all forever, though, man. The man is the greatest actor, B, that became a rapper, B. Like, this whole shit. Role. This is greatest role, B. You know what I'm saying? This is greatest role was being an American rapper, B. That's all it is.
Drake fighting that water. Y'all didn't see him up under that video, up under fighting that water. That nigga's tough.
Fighting water.
Yeah, you see that video? That nigga shadow boxing up under that water?
Yeah, stop.
Hey, that nigga's tough. Hey, Trap, you gonna make his list. G already on the list. Y'all niggas gonna find yourself on that list where Drake on.
You don't want to be on the list.
Oh, boy.
I want no piece of shit. I want no smoke with Drake. I seen that shit. I seen the shit.
You still want backstage pass.
And the problem is people think, shout out to the homie Mello and different people, they feel like, oh, he got some money now, so he playing. Now he got to be. I'm like, that's not what's happening, bro. That dude is not breaking the rules. Not in this group. He's not going to break the rules, bro.
So you don't think sleeping with somebody else's girl is breaking the rules?
No, because he's not sleeping with nobody else. No, he's sleeping with somebody else's whore. They don't even sleep with each other's girl. They sleep with each other's whores.
That's the one that'll hurt you, really, for real, though, B. With my best eater. Still my best eater now, I might be hurt.
Trap
eater. Yeah, Trap got some secrets.
I'll be hurt. You take my best eater from me, man. You crazy?
So it's like that's what I'm saying. I don't think they see themselves in him as much as these people. Like the fan don't see themselves in him as much as they just think they're not me. And I keep telling them, you're more me than him. And they can't believe it. They're like, Glasses, well, you're from a gang. And I'm like, that don't mean nothing. Like, what does that really mean?
So there's no in between?
There is no in between. If
either you or Drake, it's one or the other.
It's not. The problem is, no matter how, even if it was an in between, they would be way more over here.
I was saying, there's two, the extreme. Glasses and Drake are two extremes.
Yeah, and Glasses for some reason think these 30-year-old niggas is more like Drake and like taking gangbanging and all that shit away from everything.
Hold on. Shout out Sherry. Mario,
yes,
I grew up in Compton.
Streets. I just seen that.
That's what Sherry said.
Streets rave.
Put it on the
screen.
Put it on the screen, please.
Hey, Sherry's baptized in the streets, man. Y'all better leave her alone. Get off of her.
Yeah, we did our whole time right there. Here you go right there, Sherry. You there. You made it, Sherry. From the streets. Why they had to raise me this way? Sing it, Sherry.
Oh, shout out to 2000 Ravens. What don't you understand about my logic, bro? Listen, I'm going to say it again. I'm giving you a comp. I think Drake fans don't see themselves in Drake as much as you think. I think they just do not believe they are like me. So they think they need the opposite. It's like how Trap and Coach saw themselves in Kanye, even though they're way more 50.
I never saw myself on goddamn Kanye.
I did not say that. I never said that.
Y'all said he came out, y'all was in college.
Listen.
Y'all went to college too.
I'm
gonna keep it a
buck.
buck. You was in college too.
I ain't gonna go to college. I ain't gonna go to business school, B. I ain't gonna know that.
Whatever, all the same thing.
I said I went to college and I dropped out. That nigga said, "Oh, Kanye."
No, we was talking about it, right? We was talking about Kanye. Y'all was like, he came out. Y'all was like, man, y'all thought y'all identified with him.
Yeah, you did say that.
Y'all realized he was sucking penis. Y'all like, hold on, this is different. Hold on.
I was off of Kanye way before that nigga started.
Now you just see it everywhere. Now you just see it everywhere. You nothing like Kanye. What's crazy is you and Trap now see so much how y'all not like Kanye is scary.
Never thought I was like Kanye. Never.
Yes, you fucking did. All y'all did. Yes, y'all did.
This nigga G is
never
crazy.
I never worked at the Gap. I never, bro, you crazy?
I did work at the Gap, though.
Boy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you worked at the Gap. I didn't work at the Gap.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, y'all listen.
Shout
out to the lunch table. I know I be sounding crazy. I get it. I listen to myself. I'm like, that dude sound kind of crazy. Bro, people identify with Kanye because they was like, man, I'm not like Jay-Z, or I'm not like Jesus.
No, I was Jay-Z. I was Jay-Z.
Hold up. Not Trap. Or I'm not like 50 Cent. The problem is, you guys are all more, even the most suburban brother is more 50 Cent than you could imagine. You just never had the opportunity
He's
to
talking
be
crazy.
50 Cent.
Talking crazy, man. You want to believe that? I think it's because it will break your heart to understand how much these kids and these younger generations have changed from what you believe in.
It's not what I believe in. Listen,
these kids are different, bro.
If they think they identify with Drake more because he's a nerd, he's probably not smarter than me. He probably didn't get a higher score in his SAT than me. That's a lot of black people from the ghetto.
You know, people don't think of nerds like that.
I know. You know why? Because they don't know what a fucking nerd is.
Nerds became the cool thing to be, though, B.
Listen,
it ain't like a West fan. That's a West fan.
It ain't about
no. I didn't see that shit happen. That wasn't my.
You know why being smart never is gonna be cool?
Never.
Because most motherfuckers ain't smart, and that's fine. But when you really a smart person, you don't worry about who else is smart or who gets good grades. You just doing your thing.
I think being smart is super cool.
I'm not worried about if it's cool. I'm not worried about what everybody else thought because I'm just me. Now, again, what I'm saying is, in Drake's position, people like Pete thinks he's more Drake than me. And I'm like, bro, you're more me, bro.
So, do you feel like you got a little Drake in you?
No. Me and Drake are polar opposites.
Okay.
Like, we're polar opposites. Drake believes if somebody piss on him, he don't like his odds, you know, it's better just to leave and talk shit about it later. I'm like, fuck it, go all the way out. You ain't finna be just pissing on me. You ain't telling nobody you pissed on me.
It's a lot of little kids running around here getting pissed on. And
no, they are not.
And turning the other leg.
No, not people that look like us.
I'm telling you, it's a lot of kids getting pissed on and turning their other leg. Like, all right, you pissed on that leg.
Did they piss on you?
Nigga, I'm not their age.
Did they piss on your
nigga,
son?
better not piss on me, nigga. I'm not
Did they piss
Cassie.
on your son?
Nigga, like, no, nigga, I told you my son.
Did they piss on your son?
My son's not like that.
So where's all this stuff happening with kids?
It's some of these other kids, nigga. It's a lot. It's a lot.
No, you know why we're making this shit up? Because we keep trying to make it like this shit is happening. Nigga, ain't nobody let nobody piss on them.
It's a lot of kids with wet jeans right now.
No, they are not.
Chilling. Because chilling.
Listen, no, they are not. It is not that many people. Not from where we from. Not from the culture.
It ain't that many niggas from where we from no more.
That's the point. We're talking about people where we're from. Listen, if some white man identified with Drake, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Even though he's not a brother like Drake, I would get why he identified with Drake.
But you don't get why brothers identify with Drake.
No, brothers that come from street urban culture to any degree. Okay. If your mother or your father, if you was raised with either one of them, if you was raised in any street urban culture neighborhood, if you was raised anything like this, if it was inside your house, outside your house, or at school, you're going to be totally different than he is.
Is there anywhere in LA that you could be raised non-street urban culture?
Sure. Beverly Hills. Okay. There's a lot of places. It depends on who you was raised by inside the house and outside the house. And then what school you went to.
Nah, because I had a homeboy that grew up in Beverly Hills. That nigga was kind of raw.
No, they got some raw niggas. I'm just saying there's places you can not experience street urban culture. Now, not in New York.
You could be in your household. You could be in your household. Your parents come from that background, and I'm saying they chose to bring you, take you outside of that community, but they still gonna instill those certain things.
She kept referring to Fresh Prince. I don't think his dad acted street urban.
Uncle Phil was from Philly. What you mean?
But he didn't seem like he was acting street urban to Carlton. Phil.
But I think Uncle Phil is like me and Trap though. Me and Trap, we was raised in a certain area. We got, I ain't got Uncle Phil better than like.
So let me get this right. So you think if 7-year-old Carlton got into a fight and came because Uncle Phil, somebody hit me in my face, he gonna be like, go tell the principal.
Yes, for sure. Uncle Phil probably would tell him to go tell
Uncle Phil gonna tell that nigga throw his hands.
No,
as an attorney, gonna tell him to throw his hands.
Uncle Phil a judge, nigga.
Uncle Phil gonna be like, Uncle Phil trying to throw hands with niggas.
By the law.
You see how long it take Uncle Phil to get there?
I think
first off, if you gonna throw away your job, it don't take that long at all.
It take a long time for Uncle Phil to start throwing his hands.
Uncle Phil was finna squab up Will Daddy.
Nigga, that
was nigga. You stop, not.
Hey, nigga, that was
What does Carl Winslow tell old boy to do?
Uncle Phil, shout out to Nico Hernandez. Uncle Phil put up to the pool hall and hustled the pool hustler.
Yes, exactly. When it comes to his children, Uncle Phil squab you down. Like
no. He gonna squab you down for anything.
Hey, for his children, no. He gonna tell, but what he gonna tell Will and Carlton about that pool hall? Stay away from it, guys.
Yes, because
if something happens,
he gonna be like, y'all
don't do shit. Go call the cops.
He is definitely not gonna tell him call the cops.
Uncle Phil a different breed though. Like even my children, I tell my children all the time, hey man, something happened to you, hey, call the cops. Y'all not with this. Y'all do, y'all just not what y'all do.
So I
would do it though, but I'm not gonna do it.
Then why you don't tell the principal when they got into them fights?
Because, hey man,
when they got suspended, why you like you got suspended? You on punishment because you shouldn't have fought back. You should have went to the proper authority.
Because number one, my kids was winning the fights. So
it don't matter
who win a fight and go tell on the principal.
No, you supposed to not even be fighting.
Nah,
somebody hit you supposed to be like, I'm telling the principal.
No, and I tell my kids that too.
No, you do not.
Unless a nigga touch you, y'all need to be fighting. Or if you say something too egregious,
you shouldn't be telling them to fight. You know why? You know why white people always never. You ever notice? Shout out to all the white folks, because there's some white people that grew up like us and do their thing, but the average white American people, right? The average white American people, right? Okay. Hold on. Shout out to 2000 Ravens. Glasses, why Cube get away with being a two-parent suburban gangster to Trey K? Because Cube ain't from the suburbs. He's not from the suburbs. He had a two-parent household. Cube is not from the suburbs. Where that nigga grew up at is not the suburbs. I will take you over there, 2000 Ravens. They will fucking peel your skin off. Right now, it's not the suburbs over there. Yes, he had two parents, but it is not the suburbs. It's different. It's different. Okay, so to your point, Coach, why you don't tell your kids to go tell the principal when they got into that fight?
Like I told you, they won the fight. So
it don't matter why they fight. You should be put them on punishment for fighting.
no, I would never. So
even if they hit them first.
I have got on my children.
If they hit them first.
No, dude. Like I said, I've gotten on my children for hitting. If some of my kids are a little bullyish, so I've gotten on them. If y'all start to fight, hey man, hey, come here. We're gonna have to talk about this. You can't be going out there starting fights. You can't be going out there doing this. So yeah, I've gotten on my kids for doing that. I ain't gonna tell them. I might go tell them themselves though. Hey, go tell the principal.
Why not? That's the rules.
That ain't the rule to go
You
telling
know
yourself.
why it ain't the rules?
Nowhere to say go telling yourself.
That's what make you street. That's what make you street. Being outside of the rules. You like whatever your shit is more important. That's what make you closer to me than fucking Drake.
And then that's Coach, but not his sons.
That is Coach Sons. Coach Sons is gonna squabble somebody. Now trust me, I didn't argue with these little niggas. They gonna squabble. They squabble energy.
They do. Like Dutch is there, right? My sons is with all the action.
Squabble
for sure.
you down.
To where I had to tone all my sons down. Nigga, like, no, hey, you gotta calm down a little bit. Because they are with it. But no form or fashion do I tell them to go fight niggas, hey man, you go start fights, go do this, nigga owe you some money, go get it now. Like, no. I've told them, hey man, hey, y'all not about that. Y'all basketball players, y'all hoopers. Y'all handle it this way. You know, so
squabble them down. You ain't telling them, hey, well, I'm gonna challenge you to a game. Nigga, punch him face. Well, I'm gonna challenge you to a game of one-on-one. We're gonna see what's the best way it is.
No, but I told you if a nigga hit you, then you gotta defend yourself.
No, you don't. You go tell the principal.
No, if nigga hit you, you gotta defend yourself.
If they hit you, hold up. Shout out to Don Dub. I told the school we teach self-defense in my home. They stopped calling. That's not self-defense. Self-defense is to stop somebody from hitting. Somebody hits you and you hit them back, that's not self-defense.
No, that is.
That's called revenge.
No, it's not. It's not called revenge. If a nigga hit you, they gonna want to hit you again if you don't stop it. They gonna continue to hit you.
No, self-defense is when you defend being hit.
Okay, so
you teaching boxing with offense defense. That ain't true.
No, I'm just saying. If a nigga bang you, like boom, just sneak you.
Tell the police.
No, nigga, he coming back for some more, nigga.
No, I'm telling the principal.
When the last
You're
time
gonna
a
have to chase me to the principal.
Hey, when the last time you hit a nigga, didn't sleep him, and you just pause right there? I'm good right there, brother.
You should not be throwing you should be running.
Nigga, come on. Nigga, you of all people know, you have hit somebody before, and they didn't fall, and you was like, oh, I gotta finish this shit.
But guess what? That's different. Again, the thing that makes your son closer to me is the fact he's going to break the fucking rules.
I told my son.
You know who's not gonna break the rules?
Never let a nigga finish on him.
You know who's not gonna break the rules?
Drake. Pause.
Hella pause.
Yeah, that was crazy. Actually, I said it.
You supposed to chase. You supposed to teach your kid chase them. Sherry full of shit. If Sherry kids got hit, this is why Sherry is street urban.
What she said?
If Sherry kids got hit, she told them to fight back.
It's been a couple of times I thought Sherry wanted to swing on glasses. So when they be talking, they was close.
Shout out to Ruby Burks. I'm out. I can't stand Glasses no more with his MAGA rhetoric, talking points, but standing on Crip roots. This dude is disgusting and should announce being a Crip.
Why we reading this?
I don't know, because I don't know why would I denounce this Crippin'.
Why?
That's the only thing that bothered me.
MAGA rhetoric.
It worked, Ruby. It worked. You got his attention.
I finally read it. I didn't enjoy your time. I just don't know why would I denounce Crippin'. Shout out to Mario Paulo, who makes a great point. There are great house hoods as well in the hood, and that's the problem. Like, that's what y'all don't get. Like, and that's what I've been saying. Like, I realized that last night I was reading, and I'm like, they're not really identifying with Drake. They're trying to not identify with Glasses. They're trying to not identify with Chief Keef or Kodak Black. They're trying to not identify with who they think is this. But the problem is, most people know Glasses is not a Republican. I will never identify with white people.
Yo, bro, what's up with you, bro? Why you keep on?
No, because he said that I'm a Republican. I want to make sure we clear that up. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm black. I'm black.
He can't be a Democrat or Republican. He's a Crip.
That don't even go together.
Yeah, like, he already chose his hood. He already chose his hood.
I'm cool. I ain't fuck with all that shit. They was trying to put me in the Masons. I'm like, I'm already a Crip, bro. Already a Crip. They was like, no, but you could be a Crip and a Mason. Nah. That's
I'm a traveling man.
You call that is that tripping? No. That's set jumping. I can't be from two hoods.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Can't be from two hoods. It's said or nothing. What I'm saying is that's why your kids are street urban still. That's why your kids are street urban.
And I agree with you.
But even though they didn't grow up in street urban, they didn't walk outside their house, the front door, and it was the same thing we saw walking out our house. But guess what? Their dad is street urban. So therefore, they're going to have values of street urban people.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, so Will Smith, would you think he grew up street urban?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I kind of feel like he's done. Glass seems like he's pausing on it. He's trying to think about it a little bit.
Say that one more time.
Will Smith, do you feel like he grew up street urban?
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at Willow and what's the other little son? What's his son name? Jaden. Yeah. When you look at Willow and Jaden, do they seem street urban to you?
Yes. But it's not
street
it's
urban.
It's not seen. You see Will Smith slap that man, talk about his wife on that stage.
Yeah, Will. I'm talking about Will. That's my point.
So what do you think he told this kid when the first time somebody tripped on Jaden Smith?
Tell.
No, sir. Because he would be telling.
Jaden Smith.
He would tell him. He didn't take his money and get Chris Rock banned out of the ground. Will Smith got enough money and pull to get Chris Rock banned. Even though Chris Rock is a star, Will Smith is that type of star where he can get Chris Rock banned and fuck his life up like Nicki Minaj is saying Jay-Z is doing. Like, he got that type of power and pull.
No, I'm not tripping on Will Smith, though. I'm not questioning him. I'm questioning, and I'm not really questioning him. I'm just saying it was the way they was raised. I'm questioning Jaden and Willow, though. I don't think that they're going to go smack a nigga for...
Their dad smacked a nigga on national television.
Their dad.
So therefore, their dad is all about smacking. He's smacking shit.
Yeah,
he smacked that man. That man kissed him on the cheek. That was old French, man. He looked at that nigga and smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith has smacked 3 people.
Do Jaden give you the feeling that he's going to smack a nigga for kissing him on the cheek? Or
maybe
kiss him
not
back?
that, but Jaden Smith will probably smack a nigga. That's the problem. Because guess what? You are your dad's son. If your dad will risk his career to smack a nigga talking shit about your mom in front of millions of white people,
the reason why we never heard of Jaden or Willow smacking nobody because they not doing that. T.I.'s son, you see that nigga can't wait to go eat little T.I.
I think Jaden will squabble T.I.'s son up.
Nigga, what?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, so
I think Jaden will squabble a king up.
I kind of think so too.
You're right.
I kind of think so too.
You think so too, Trap?
Yeah. So I'm telling you, you can't.
You think Jaden to put hands on King?
Don't get me wrong. I think King is a little.
No.
When it comes to hands, bro, it's different.
I think Jaden.
I think King put a little bit of hot sauce on that burrito, but you know what I'm saying? Like he doing a little bit too much though. I'm saying try to do something like that.
Man, nigga, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I think Jaden Smith is probably more classically trained as a fighter because I think he probably did a little boxing, a little karate for the movie, all that type of shit.
Oh yeah, the karate kid shit.
He probably could really fight better than King, but I think if the fight go about 1.5 minutes, Jaden gonna start thinking about butterflies or some shit like that, and then King viciousness gonna take over.
I think you got that confused.
I don't know, man. I would have much rather take the guy if I'm training a guy. Give me King, other than Jaden.
I understand that because you want to use that anger that he got, but I understand that. But now I'm telling you,
that's why if I go 1.5 minutes, that anger's still gonna be brewing in King. He's still gonna be working. That anger's still gonna be working.
But I think Jaden
he's gonna have lost the first minute and a half of the fight.
I think Jaden is gonna be like, look, man, I'm trying to not stop doing. Please stop.
Jaden gonna be doing shit in the middle of the fight, like, hey man, you good, bro? Are you good, bro?
Shout out to 2,000 Ravens. Smacking Chris Rock is the hood standard now. Y'all stop this foolishness. It's not about the hood standard. If you smack a nigga on the Grammys in front of the whole world, you're a different type of nigga, bro. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You know the type of
nigga. But not if you do it because your lady. Because you can't go back home because your lady, you just like this lady right now being happy about having a boy.
I don't give a fuck about that.
He couldn't go back home.
Wait a minute, hold up here.
It took nuts from the slap. What's the name?
Wait a minute, so G, you agree with the smack? Did you agree with the smack?
Man, if you talk about my wife and I want to smack you, I'm going to smack you.
Oh, boy.
It ain't about if I agree with it. I don't got to agree with no nigga. As long as he okay with the ramifications. You say some shit about my old lady, nigga, and I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
But he thought it was cool at first, bro. That's the crazy shit about it,
we don't have context on how long these jokes been going.
No, bro. That's that replay.
You know what I'm not okay with? I'm not okay with Chris Rock not doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's the bigger point.
That's the thing I'm not okay.
I agree with you 100%. That's the bigger point.
I don't give a fuck what Chris Rock got. I don't give a fuck about what none of those podcasts I'm talking about. Nigga, you need to see me later.
No, not later. Not later.
Yeah.
If I'm Chris Rock, I got to do something right then and there.
I'm talking about right now, nigga. Yes. Right now, nigga.
You gotta see
even
me
right now.
Right now.
You know where you gonna see me? The next place you see me at, nigga, we getting it shaking.
Okay, cool.
The next place you see me at.
Do all that. You thought this wasn't the right thing. I still need mine. look, and this is what I'm talking about. It's a weird sentiment going on the internet right now where people trying to act like Will Smith is a mark for slapping him. No.
I leave a mark.
No. That's the sentiment going on because it be so many marks. It be a bunch of mark-ass niggas. What it is you niggas is marks because if somebody slaps you and you don't do nothing, use a mark. And you can't
but let me ask you though, right? The only thing I see him as being a mark for doing it was that, nigga, you sat right there and laughed, nigga.
It was
when
funny.
a nigga said the joke, you laughed, look at your girl and go, oh shit, she mad. Look at that shot this nigga. The fuck, nigga, you thought this shit was cool. You thought it was funny when you first did it.
That's cool.
So you thought it was funny.
You done bought your wife something. You done bought your old lady something, Trap, and she didn't like that shit. You took it back, act like you got the wrong thing. Stop playing.
I'm not gonna lie, Trap.
Shit like that.
Yes, you have.
Hey, Trap.
For sure you have. You was like, oh, you didn't get this, and you went back and got the order she wanted.
Hey, Trap.
No,
real shit though, Trap.
Better eat that shit.
You probably would have did
it, man.
But
I understood why he did it. He's like, man, I gotta go home, man. I gotta go home, son. No,
yeah, exactly. I gotta go
I
home.
look at it like, oh shit, man. And she see me laughing too. She see me saying this shit laughing. I'ma clean this shit up. Let's try to shot this nigga real quick, dude.
He probably decides the situation was like,
I don't know what's going on with Will and Chris, or I don't know. I can't get into why he slapped him. Honestly, it's wrong. It's against the law. So however they proceed is how they proceed. I don't quite know why. But that's simp mode. It's not simp mode if you slap somebody over your wife, bro. Simp, that don't fit there. Simp is about the girl that you just messing with. Your wife is serious, bro. You defend your wife's honor. That ain't no simp defending your wife's honor. You keep making fun of my wife, nigga. I don't know the depth, but if you make fun of her and she don't like it, nigga, and I slap you, now we gonna go from there.
But you laughed at the joke first, though, B.
Because that was funny.
So your wife smacked the shit out of you for laughing at that shit.
She should have. But guess who the only know in the situation is? Will Smith.
I think the real problem came in for niggas is that they didn't feel like Jada be defending Will honor sometimes.
You don't. That's
yeah, so now it's like, nigga,
but I don't even want to get into all that. I'm just saying.
I think that's the real part.
All I'm saying is I'm just not trying to judge what Will did because I don't know the context.
No.
Now with Chris, I get it. Maybe you don't want to squabble him right there because you don't want to lose that job. He's crazy. You might not be crazy. You don't got that money, so you tripping. Or da-da-da. But eventually, nigga, you got to see me. We got a problem. Right now, Chris Rock, you see Tony? Tony like, nah, bro, I need that for my brother. You know what? Why not call the police and press charges? Why Chris Rock didn't call the police? Because you know why? Because Chris Rock is street urban culture.
Even though I'm pretty sure Will Smith could beat them both up at the same time.
Oh, well, you got to beat me up. You ain't just slapping.
No, for sure.
One of my older homies, bro, I could fight. My older homie really could fight. That nigga slapped one of my homeboys before. And I mean, he slapped him so hard, dog, it was like the craziest slap I ever saw. And don't get me wrong, maybe my homie had it coming. Rest in peace to the homeboy Papa. He probably had it coming. I don't know. But I told that nigga on the spot, I don't give a fuck how hard he punched. I don't give a fuck how cold he was. You gonna have to kill me with that. You slap me like that, just know.
My story told me that.
You finna get cracking. I don't give a fuck if you win. None of that. I don't give a fuck. You got to knock me out. You can't just be slapping on me and act like I'm a disadvantage.
I said, Joe, you can punch me, we gonna fight. You smack me now, I'm gonna shoot you. You ain't gonna just smack like I'm a bitch, nigga.
I think Chris Rock, he really missed his opportunity when Will Smith turned his back on him.
Like, he supposed to kick that nigga in his ass.
Yeah, he's supposed to crack him right there and then let them break it up.
I don't want to judge. You been got the invite, Poetic. Flacco, you lying. I already told you. Whenever you ready, you can pop on, Flacco. Come on, get this grown man conversation. Yep. You say I still ain't get the invite to come on the pod, be with Bill. That's a lie, Flacco. It's an open door. We already passed that. You already, whenever you want. As long as you know over here at this level, it's intelligent people. You want to think. You have to think over here, nigga.
Real shit.
They gonna make you think. You can't say that shit.
Don't be putting no broken heart emojis when you talking to a man, bro.
It's open door, because that's how we rock. And I'm always here for all the little bros. What I'm saying is, the problem with that is, all I'm saying to Chris Rock, even if today, Chris Rock's supposed to wake up today and call that nigga on the phone and tell that nigga I need that, bro. You're gonna have to whoop my ass. For my own self.
Nah, he waited too long now. It's done.
No, it's never over.
Nah.
No. Fuck no, it ain't over.
It's done.
Owe me that. A nigga hit me from the back. Pause. A nigga hit me in the back of my head when I was 13. I fought that nigga when he was 31.
See, man, that's too much. That's too
No,
far.
it's not. I remember.
Your ass should have got him right then and there. You should have got him at 13.
It sound
You
made
should
up.
have moved with him.
No,
You know how psycho you is for that?
No, he moved just like that.
He moved out of state.
What?
No, he moved out of the city. He moved from out the neighborhood.
I gotta go.
When you were 31, you want to get a
At a club, as a rapper with money. Squabble cut down right on spot.
At 31 with money, I probably. At 13, I was reckless. I was doing whatever. I give a fuck.
No,
But at 31 with money,
it might have been 12. The man hit me in the back of the head. I fell. Right?
But how old was he?
He was like 13, 14.
Oh, no.
But it's not, he hit me and I fell, right? And then I was kind of dazed. Like, what the fuck happened? He was gone. Right? So I'm like, damn, what happened? They like, man, that was Jay and them. I'm like, Jay? They like, that. So I go try to find him. He not around. The next day, I'm not lying, that nigga whole family moved. Like, he did it because he knew they wasn't finna be there. I seen that nigga in the club in Hollywood.
Glasses made his list. He said, I'm moving tomorrow, Mom. All right, I got a nigga. I got to go.
Y'all think I'm playing. I'm not joking. Niggas really get out like that, bro. Niggas do some shit.
I you walk when you came in the club at 31.
31 years old. Squabble it down.
You're a maniac, dude.
No,
Yes,
I'm not.
That's just tripping, though. That's too far.
That's like if a nigga say something to me in the comments. You say some shit about my mama, you say some shit on some punk ass shit.
I ain't gonna tell them that, for that. Somebody gonna say that now.
You talking about blowing niggas' pictures up and saving them.
I'm going to remember.
Blowing pictures of niggas up and saving them. So if I ever
That's 8223, real one right there. I'm about to go get this nigga. Fuck out of here, man.
Glass call is consequences. That's
internet is not real, Glass. You better not do no shit like that, bro.
Consequence.
No.
It's consequence.
You being crazy at that
Niggas
point.
can't just say anything, bro.
Niggas can. That's why they got these buttons. That's why they say that shit.
Guess what? It come with, if I see you, we gonna see about it. They might win. They gonna have to fight.
I care less about when these niggas saying whatever. Nigga, who gives a fuck, nigga? You go fight these niggas and
I understand what y'all saying.
What you got going on?
Listen, I respect what y'all saying.
As a weirdo with a keyboard and some bullshit.
I respect what y'all say. Y'all are so mature that people can say something, you ignore them.
Yeah,
I am not that mature.
Now, if a nigga on this internet and try you, then I get it. Yeah.
No.
Nigga don't gotta come in my
The thing about glasses, though,
come in my face because I got too much ketchup. I'll fight.
for you to say that though, bro, and you do so many back and forth with these motherfucking weirdos, B, you just waiting for a nigga to say some crazy shit. Because you do mad back.
I want to just log it down. Mental note, log. Johnny 26. All them OVO fans that be saying shit to me, bro.
They go crazy.
All them people I blow up their pictures, they just never had a real picture. I done went to niggas' Instagram to try to see them. I seen niggas. You think if I don't see them, you said that about my mama, nigga, I'm finna fuck you around.
This nigga,
That little storage room we got over there, you got mad pictures on the wall right there.
Bro, I got pictures in my memory. If somebody was talking crazy in my phone memory,
this
nigga,
is nice talker talk, nigga. This is nice talker talk. This is great talk here. This is crazy talk, right? This is not, you're not supposed to be doing this.
I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, though. If I'm with glasses, you know what I'm saying, and he see one of you niggas, I'm gonna jump on your ass, though. I ain't holding him back either, right?
This why I don't want to go get him back. We gonna be out there chilling and shit, eating a chicken sandwich or some shit. That nigga be like, hey, there go 82629. Got him. And I'm gonna be like, nah, nigga, got him. That was delicious. And then I'm from that area where you can't even
jump on your ass, too. I'm close.
Pretend like I'm hitting it. Come on.
People, shout out to everybody at the lunch table. It's people that pop on here and talk to me and say rude stuff. I don't even say nothing back to you.
Just block them.
No, I'm not. I'll give you that space. I'm not going to say nothing. Again, because I know how to conduct myself, so I'm okay with doing that.
And man, you already know. Sometimes I see niggas talking shit about me. It's hilarious to me. I just laugh about this. I'm like, that shit funny. That shit funny. Funny.
No, if it's funny, I'll laugh at
it. Nigga.
I know. I'm not saying if it's funny. If it's good, I'm not mad because you outwitted me.
Well, if it's funny and disrespectful, though, at the same time.
No, it be niggas going out their way to say shit that's inappropriate. Like, they don't just make the joke. Like, if a nigga says something like, oh, Glasses Drake career way better, or your career is fair.
Fuck that
I'm
shit.
not talking about that.
I'm talking about the shit.
I'm talking about when niggas start, a nigga said something about my mama, nigga. A nigga said something about my mom, that's why your mom died in prison and got raped. I'm fucking you up.
Okay, that's ridiculous stuff. Like, you make me mad with that. Like, you, I'm like,
that's crazy.
All this shit, figure out what happened to my mom dying in prison and feds and all that. Fucking you up.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Somebody really did that? Hell yeah, people be saying all kinds of shit when they feel it be hurt.
Yeah, they get some crazy shit on the internet, man.
Yeah. I be listening to niggas. That's why I keep telling niggas on ADHD. I be like, bro, if you say I'm not the rest of these niggas, I keep telling niggas, I'm not the rest of these niggas, bro. If you say some shit about me, people who know me, King, you know me. I'm the type of person. I'm going to be where you're at, and I'm gonna press a line real fast. And if you say something that's too wrong, I'm taking off on you right on the spot. We're not even going. You're gonna have to squabble.
No more boxing for glasses. See, this nigga using it for the evil.
That's not the evil.
Like, this nigga evil.
It's a tool of justice.
It's not justice, nigga.
It is justice.
This nigga's Lex Luthor. He got his own definition of justice. You know, he's crazy.
Right now, that nigga treats